You think you're moving furniture, but what you're really moving are decades of memories. When families start the downsizing process with their aging parents, they often think that the hard part will be finding a realtor and selling the house. But the truth is, the emotional side of downsizing is usually the hardest part, and almost nobody's talking about it. Today, I want to talk to you about that exact thing. I want to talk to you about the emotional side because if you're helping your parents make this transition right now or you're about to, then understanding exactly how emotional the entire process is will make everything so much smoother for everybody involved. My name is Meredith Davis. I'm with the Wildflower Properties Group, brokered by KSP. I'm a realtor here in Houston, Texas, and I've spent almost 2 decades helping families navigate big life transitions, like downsizing your aging parents. But this topic is also personal for me because I have helped my own parents start thinking about and navigate into their next chapter of life. I've also helped dozens of families through the process. Some of them have lived in their home for 20, 30, even 40 years. And this is what I've learned. Downsizing is not just a real estate decision. It is a life decision. And the emotions that will come with it can sometimes catch families completely off guard. So let's talk about a few emotional realities that often come up during the downsizing process. First, the home represents a lifetime of memories. And to adult children, it may feel like it's just a house or a house that's getting too big, or maybe there's too much maintenance, or maybe it's just no longer practical. But to your parents, that home is where birthdays happened, holidays were celebrated, life was lived, and sometimes decades of life took place there. And every room has a story. So when the conversations about downsizing start, it can feel less like a practical decision and more like letting go of a major chapter in our lives. Second, sometimes there can be a loss of independence. Many parents worry that downsizing means they're losing control of their lives or that others are starting to make their decisions for them. Even when the move makes sense financially or physically, those feelings of loss can still be very real for your parents. And if families don't acknowledge that emotional place, then the conversation can quickly become very tense. And the third thing is the sheer amount of stuff that can be in houses sometimes. It could be overwhelming. So when someone has lived in a home for decades, they've accumulated a lifetime of belongings. They are deeply rooted in the home. Every item seems to have a story attached to it. And suddenly you're not just deciding what items to keep, you're deciding what part of life to let go of. And that can be emotionally exhausting. One thing I've learned from both my personal experience and my professional experience in helping clients through the process is that the pace of the process matters. It matters way more than people realize. And families often want to move quickly because they see the practical reasons for downsizing. But emotionally, parents may need more time, time to go through things, time to tell stories about those things, and time to feel like they're part of the decision rather than being pushed into it. And one of the best approaches I've seen is to treat downsizing less like a move and more like a transition into a next chapter. Not the end of something, but the beginning of something different, better. Often that next chapter can bring less maintenance, more freedom, and sometimes even more just general life to enjoy. But getting there is going to require patience, empathy, and understanding. If you're helping your parents downsize, remember this. You're not just managing a move, you're helping them navigate one of the biggest life transitions that they may ever experience. And when families approach this process with empathy and understanding, it can actually become a really meaningful experience instead of a stressful one. In my next video, I'm going to talk about why downsizing your aging parents is about way more than just real estate. So if this topic is something that you're dealing with right now, make sure to subscribe because I'm creating this entire series to help families navigate the downsizing process with less stress and more clarity. I'll see you in the next video.